Alright, good morning everybody. Today we're going to be putting in a new section in our math journal today. So make sure you have your math journal. So when you get your math journal, go ahead and open it up to your table of contents. And as you can see, we did the integer absolute value, adding integers, subtracting integers, and on page 7 today we are going to put in multiplying integers. Okay, we're going to put in multiplying integers today. Now, you're not going to have this stuff. I'll post it, but if you can't print it out, that's fine. We will just copy everything down, and you can kind of just write it in your own way in your own math journal. Okay, so multiplying integers. Now, this is probably one of the easiest little sections that we're going to do, and you'll see why in just a minute. Alright, so first let's go ahead and fill these in. So multiplying integers, alright, and to multiply, we're going to fill in these blanks. Integers, we use repeated addition. When the first factor is positive. Now, as we know from multiplying, when we multiply, it's just basically repeated addition anyway. Okay, so when the first one is positive, all right, and you'll see why in just a minute. I'll try to get me some scissors and cut this out and show it to you, but you'll see why we add when the first one is positive. Okay, now when the first factor is negative, use repeated subtraction. Okay, so like I said, if you can't print this out, that's perfectly fine, but I want you to print it out, or not print it out, I want you to copy all this down, okay, and put it in your math journal. Just handwrite it in. Okay, so let me pause the video for just a second. Let me go get a pair of scissors. Okay, so when we are going over these, what I want, remember, if you can print this out, that's great, but if you can't, that's perfectly fine too. I want to make these as colorful as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly kind of color mine as we go. That's not going to be the best, but at least you'll get an idea of kind of what I want to see when we actually get to do these back in person, back in class. Okay, so we need to have, and make sure when we do color, okay, we don't color anywhere where we write or where the examples are. Make sure we don't color those dark. Okay, we don't want to color them dark. I'm going to have to flip this around. Alright, so that's purple and orange, so in case you were wondering if you can't see. Alright, so there, we got that taken care of. Now, what I'm going to do is all these little arrows over here, I'm going to cut those out, try to, pretty quick for you, okay? And I'm going to cut these out, and I'm going to show you what to do with them up here on the number line, so just hold on just a second. Okay, now, as you can see, I've got them all, I'm going to push this away, I've got them all cut out down here, okay? So, now, going back to what we just wrote down here, okay? So, to multiply integers, use repeated addition when the first factor is positive, okay? So, let's go up here to the very top. We have 2 plus 4, right? Okay. So, when it's talking about using addition, this is what it's going to look like here. And my gluing and everything's not going to be the best. All right. So just going to glue right in there just like that. Okay. So there. Now when we're adding, we remember that we go which way on the number line? Yeah, to the right. Okay. And you see how my arrow is facing? So if you have to write these in, make sure that you copy the number lines just like they are and write 2 times 4 above 1. And this is how you're going to symbolize it, okay? So I'm going to put this one right in here and boom. So I have 2 4s. All right, I got a 4 here and a 4 here. So 2 4s, so 2 times 4. And that's going to equal, it's going to give me 8. All right, so I'm positive there. All right, now, let's do another one. Let's do 2 times negative 4. All right, now, these are going to look a little different. Okay, so I have 2 negative 4, so I got to be over here on the left side of my 0. So, and I'm going to place them just like this. Alright, so there's my first negative 4. Alright, and I'm going to multiply it by another negative 4. Alright, and here's my other negative 4. Alright, again, like I said a while ago, if you have to write it in, that's perfectly fine. But make sure you write them just like this, okay? So if you have to, draw a little box. 2 times 4 at the top. Your number line's going to be just like this one. And write how it's going to look on a number line. Same way with this one, all right? 2 times negative 4, and then we have 1 negative 4 times another negative 4 gives us negative 8, okay? Okay, now we're going to get into our the first factor being negative. So when the first factor is negative, we use repeated subtraction. So up here we're using repeated addition. Notice that the arrows are pointing to your right. All right. So when we do the first factor, all right, first factor is negative 2. We're going to be subtracting, okay? So our arrows are going to be pointing to the left this time. All right. So, but we have a what? Our second factor is a positive 4, okay? So, but we know that we have to go to the negative, okay? And then we multiply negative 2, so we'll be on this side. Now, okay, so again, write it down. If you can't print it out and cut it out yourself. All right. Now we have negative 2 and negative 4. All right. So there we got a 4. And this is going to make sense in just a minute when I read these hints down here at the bottom. All right. Now, let's just look at this and let's see if we notice anything. 2 times 4. All right. And negative 2 times negative 4. Now, if we look at both of these, what can we say about these two that are similar? Well, you know, they both have 2 and 4, but this one is 2 positives, and this one is 2 negatives. So we can say that what? These have the same sign, and these have the same sign. Okay? So if they have the same sign, our answer is always going to be what? I have an 8 and an 8. Same signs, positive product. Okay? So anytime they have the same sign, your answer will always be positive. Okay? Now, let's go back and look at the middle two. 2 times negative 4, negative 2 times 4. So, what can we say that are similar about these two? This one has different signs. This one has different signs. And let's look where we end, at negative 8. So again, same signs, positive product, always positive. Different signs will always have a negative product. Okay, our answer will always be negative. Okay, now here's a couple little practice problems right here for you. So if we just go back and look at these, okay, if we just go back and look at these, all right, I'm going to flip it this way so you can read them so you're not having to turn your head. Okay, negative 3 times 7. All right, so we should know our multiplication tables, our multiplication fairly well. Okay, so 3 times 7 will give us a 21. Okay, so we got a 21. And this will also, will it be a positive or a negative? Different signs. I'm going to make you read upside down. Different signs, negative product. Negative. Okay? All right, let's go down here and look at practice number 2. Negative 6 times negative 8. All right, so 6 times 8 is 48. Right? If I'm wrong, you better tell me. All right. Same sign or different signs? Well, they're both negative, so same signs, positive product. So it's a positive 48. Okay. So when we are going to place this in our math journal, okay? If you have to handwrite it, that's fine. But if you're not handwriting it and you get to cut it out, that's probably a little bit better, but it's okay. So the first thing it needs to do, this is the first thing, and that goes at the top. All right, first thing goes at the top. Okay, now let's put your number lines second. And this is, I'm going to put below the header, okay? This is your header right here. All right, so that's the second thing. Now, for your hints, okay, for your hints, remember, well, let's just talk about this in general. Your practice, remember, we're cutting on the solid lines. Do not cut dotted lines, okay? Do not cut them. Now, so you're going to cut those little tabs, and you can turn this sideways. Place glue behind, right in here. Glue goes right in here. All right, and then you'll fold that little tab up. Put negative 21 behind this one, and 48 behind this one. Okay. Now for your hints, you can just write those down to the side. But for the hints, you can just write those out down to the side if you're writing. But if you get to cut it out, cut the dark lines. Okay? So cut the dark lines, and this dotted line, okay, you're going to fold back up on here. All right? So hold on just a second. I'll cut it out and I'll show you. Okay, so I've got to cut it out. So what I want you to do is, I want you to fold it back up this way. Okay, fold it just like that. Now, when you place it in your math journal, you'll put glue on the back side. Place it in your math journal just like that. And if you ever want to go look for the hints, you just fold it down, and there they are. Okay? All right. Now, I will be putting this on your Google Classroom in your assignments, and along with like a guided note sheet here on how to do it. Okay? And there will also be a short assignment on multiplying integers today. Okay? If you have any questions, just email me or try to get a hold of me on the phone here at school. And if you have any issues. Okay? I will post a picture of how this will look in your math journal. But as you can see right here, it should look just like this one. Okay, so just go off of this. Okay, so if it's in your math journal, it'll look like this right here. So remember, go to Google Classroom. Make sure that you're looking at the assignments. Look for the multiplying integer assignment. And other than that, you all have a good Tuesday. And I will see you Wednesday afternoon for the Google Meet. Okay, we had to switch it this week, so it'll be later this week. Okay? All right. Y'all have a good day, and we will talk to you later.